Hey guys, it's lividfray. Hope you're all doing very well today, and welcome back to another episode of Just the Good Stuff, where I show you only the good stuff from the vendor restocks each week. Starting off right here inside the terminal, we do have a really good pair of Savage Gloves for sale at this vendor. It is over 1,200 firearms. Critical hit, chance, and damage are already here. You would just have to change marksman rifle damage over to preferably AR damage, or SMG damage would also do very well here. It is a little bit of a low critical hit damage roll, but you can definitely optimize these to make these better, or if you're using them in Last Stand, you don't have to optimize anything. You can just roll this over to whatever weapon that you would like to have it on, and then it will automatically optimize to its highest stats. Our next vendor is going to be inside the base of operations here. We're visiting the gear vendor, and she's selling a damage to elite mod for us this week at 196 stamina, 3% damage to elites. Unfortunately, it's not that 4% that we're all aiming for, and it's not over 200, but these are still excellent options if you don't have any at all. I need to go through and make sure that mine are actually better. I'm pretty sure I did a lot of the 4% stamina damage to elite mods, so I don't think I need to replace any of mine, but just to make sure you guys go through your mods and replace anything that's under 196, 3%. You definitely want to make sure that you're stacked up with these on all your characters. There's unfortunately nothing at Camp Clinton or Camp Hudson that I would recommend. We're just going to skip right on up to Autumn's Hope. Alright, I've made it over here to Autumn's Hope, and this vendor is selling a performance mod for us this week, 4% Seeker Mine damage. This also applies to the bleed damage that happens with the Seeker Mines, so the actual bleed damage that comes after the NPCs are put under this effect, it will increase. So I definitely recommend using this for your tactician builds if you don't have any of these already. Our next vendor that we're heading over to is the Cavern. Alright, I've made it over here to the Cavern, and this is the Relentless Backpack I was just telling you guys about. It is a 1250 3 electronics roll. This is very good. The maximum is 1272. Just roll off stability here for skill power, and then it already has ammo capacity, so this is a really good backpack to be utilizing for 4-piece or 5 pieces of tactician. And you can just throw Seeker Mines on the build, and automatically you're receiving 5% of that damage dealt by skills returned as healing. The next safe house we're going to be heading over to is way over here at the Ward. Alright, we've made it to the Ward Saferoom. This gear vendor is selling a gear mod for us this week at 266 stamina, 2.5% exotic damage resilience. I mentioned this, I think, in the last video. I would only recommend these for PvP. I would not be running exotic damage resilience in PvE. Although it does help you with environmental damage and the damage just done by explosions and status effects in general, I still don't think that it's good to spec into this stat specifically for PvE. This helps more when you are countering gear sets such as Predator, or just grenade spammers in general in the Dark Zone, or in general PvP. This will help in that case, but I would not recommend using this for PvE. So if you guys are looking for a good PvP mod to throw on your PvP builds, these are good. I like to recommend these ones every time they're for sale. Alright, our first checkpoint here inside the Dark Zone is going to be East 40th Street. Alright, I've made it to East 40th Street. This vendor is going to be selling an electronics mod for us this week at 265 electronics, 3% skill haste. I like to recommend these mods specifically on healer builds, not so much reclaimer, but I mean more along the lines of Final Measure, or if you're running a tactician support build. I think that pairing skill haste mods along with ally heal performance mods are the best mods you could use for a support / healer build. So if you need something like this, these are good to run. You can also use these on your tactician skill damage builds, but I think that skill power is generally better. But if you don't have those and you would rather get these as a placeholder, these are perfect to be using as well. Alright, we're going to head one checkpoint up to 42nd Street. Alright, and this vendor is going to be selling a performance mod for us this week at 5% ballistic shield damage resilience. Definitely use these on your D3 FNC builds, you guys. These are definitely just better mods to be using over health or ballistic shield damage. I would still use ballistic shield damage in other cases. For reference on this, I just posted a sentry build video. Make sure to go check that out if you are looking for ways to utilize ballistic shield damage mods. But when it comes to ballistic shield damage resilience, these are the best ones to be using, not only for PvP builds, for defense, but just defense builds in general, especially during Stolen Signal, the Incursion. I would just recommend using these. These are maxed out at 5%, so you'll receive that 20% total damage resilience. And again, this applies not only to your shield, but to your agent as well. The next location we're going to be visiting is the DZ04 Saferoom, so I'm going to get over there and I'll meet you guys there. Alright, I've made it to the DZ04 Saferoom right here, and this vendor is going to be selling a sticky bomb damage mod for us this week. Definitely recommend these for your tactician builds that utilize the sticky bomb. just going to make the BFB do crazy amounts more damage. And if you are using a Seeker Mine and Sticky Bomb damage combo, I almost always recommend Sticky Bomb damage mods over Seekers. It more than likely depends on the backpack that you're using though, because obviously Seekers are going to provide you more continuous health than a Sticky Bomb will. So if you're using more of a Relentless backpack combo with the Seekers, I would definitely recommend Seeker Mine damage over Sticky Bomb damage, but if you're using Inventive, I would almost always recommend a Sticky Bomb damage mod instead. And our next safe room is going to be DZ05 Saferoom, so I'm going to run over there and I'll meet you guys there. Alright, I've made it here to the DZ05 vendor, and this vendor is selling a high velocity magazine, critical hit chance, damage rate of fire. I think these work extremely well with your LMGs for a Lone Star build if you're going more for a crit build, especially PvP. So if you're looking for something like that, these are available. The next mod that I'm recommending is this Hollow Sight. Critical hit chance, damage, and headshot damage. Make sure to pick these up if you don't have these already. I'm actually going to be buying a couple of these to replace the ones that I have across all my characters. Our next vendor is going to be 53rd Street, so I'm just going to go ahead and run over there and I'll meet you guys there. Alright, I've made it to DZ East 53rd Street. This vendor is selling a pro red dot sight this week that has 18% critical hit damage, headshot damage, critical hit chance. This is 1% off for critical hit damage, but if you're using this for something like Last Stand or Skirmish, these are automatically going to be optimized to their highest values, and it is all the rolls that you would want for a mod like this. And it's only 1% off, so still, if you're looking for something for your Predator builds, these are perfect to be throwing on because they have all the rolls that you could possibly want them. And it also works very well for any kind of PvP build as well. You could throw these on the house, ARs, whatever you have, these work really well. And then the last location that we're going to be checking out is DZ08 Saferoom, so I will head over there and I'll meet you guys there. Alright, I've made it to the DZ08 Saferoom. This vendor is selling an Inventive backpack as well this week. It already has a skill power and ammo capacity roll. You can just change this firearm roll over to electronics, and then you have a perfect Inventive backpack for your tactician builds, especially for the BFB. So we've had a lot of options this week for tactician builds, which is really nice. A huge thank you, as usual, to my moderator Op for the blueprint footage this week. Starting off inside the terminal at the blueprint vendor, the firearms backpack blueprint is for sale. I like to recommend crafting these for a good specialized backpack if you can't find any for sale that you would like. For the weapon mods, we have a red small grip and the tan Omega rifle suppressor. You can craft these if the vendors aren't selling anything good this week, and in this case they are not, so you could craft them instead. For the mods, we have the firearms gear mod blueprint as well as the electronics gear mod blueprint. You can craft these for your skill haste, skill power mods, whatever you're looking for. Heading over to Camp Clinton, we have the absolute cherry on top this week. The lightweight M4 blueprint is for sale in all of her glory. Make sure you guys pick this up. It is the best weapon in the game that you could be using. We also have the stamina backpack blueprint for sale. Again, I like to use these for specialized if needed. And then the 552 hollow sight blueprint is for sale. There is a really good one for sale this week if you just want to buy it outright, but the blueprint is available as well if you are wanting to just craft it later. And the firearms gear mod blueprint is for sale inside this vendor, as well as the performance gear mod blueprint. I would highly recommend picking these ones up if you don't want to wait for the vendors to sell some good ones. That's going to be everything for this week's vendor reset. Hopefully there's some items that you guys will be picking up this week. I picked up quite a few of the weapon mods that were for sale, but as far as everything else, I think that it's the lightweight M4 that's the cherry on top. Make sure you guys pick up that blueprint. You'd be surprised at just how much that lightweight M4 blueprint is going to benefit you. So if you don't have the Phoenix credits, farm for them, do HVTs, do whatever you can to get that blueprint this week. We definitely don't get the lightweight M4 blueprint that often. But if you guys didn't like anything this week, there is always next week. I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Have a great rest of your day.